who is our Executive Director of Recruitment and Admissions. And then our colleague Ann Conlon, who's running the slide deck. We have some information for you this evening about the school, sort of an overview of degrees and certificates, a little bit of background about SoPA, and then since it's going to be a very small group, you'll have a chance to ask questions for sure. But I just wanted to say before I jump off that we appreciate you taking the time to learn more about the school. We're always excited when people want to know more about SoPA and the great story that we have, the amazing programs, the fabulous faculty, and the really wonderful student and alumni community. So we're really pleased that you're taking a look at us, and I hope we get to see you as a student very soon. And with that, I'll hand things off to Sheila. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Suri. We appreciate you being here. Hi, Michael and Isaac. Hi, my name is Sheila Gold. I'm the Executive Director of Recruitment and Admissions for Tulane SoPA. We've got a small group tonight, so it's easier just to kind of keep it casual and conversational. Isaac, if you're in a place where you can take yourself off of mute or even want to turn your camera on, can you tell us where you're calling in from and what you're interested in studying? Or you can also drop it in the chat at the bottom if that's easier. I'm not sure if Isaac can hear me. All right, well, we can keep going a little bit, and then, like I said, we can keep this kind of conversational. So a little bit about the School of Professional Advancement. We call it SoPA for short, so I will refer to it as SoPA throughout this conversation. But SoPA is one of 9 smaller schools that make up Tulane University. The university itself was founded in 1834 as the Medical College of Louisiana. What's important for sort of the purposes of this conversation is for you all to understand that the School of Professional Advancement in its first iteration, it's had several names throughout the years, but it's all been a school that has catered towards adult learners and non-traditional learners, meaning students that didn't start school traditionally at that, like right after high school graduation starting point. So SoPA was founded 50 years after the original founding of the university. So we have been in this space of working with adult learners for over 130 years. And we feel like we're very good at it. We're excited to share with you some of the reasons that we think that we offer a really high-end, unique experience for our students. So we'll share some of that tonight. But the biggest way that we cater to students is by offering flexibility. And we do that several ways. We do an offer of on-ground and online classes. Our graduate programs are entirely online for students. And we'll talk a little bit about how our online curriculum is very different from what most people are used to. Also, our faculty are practitioners in the fields in which you are studying, and that's also a differentiator. And then we'll also talk about our student support that we offer, our affordability, and like I said, our flexibility. And of course, all of this is backed up by a Tulane degree, which we feel like is highly recognized and tends to open doors when it comes time to apply for jobs. So we'll talk all about that tonight. Hi, Isaac. And I see Chloe has joined us. Isaac, can you tell us where you're calling in from and what you're interested in studying?
Hi, how you guys doing? My name is Isaac. Calling in from New York City. Looking forward to looking into master's in sports studies.
Great.
Particularly getting in, hopefully getting a graduate certificate in sports medicine.
Okay, great. And I see you've got something behind you that says baseball. So
yeah, I'm a baseball guy.
Yeah, I see the baseball motif behind you. And hi, Chloe. I don't know if you are able to take yourself off of mute or maybe even put your camera on, but can you tell us where you're calling in from and what you're interested in studying? All right, we'll give Chloe a minute to see if she wants to do that. So like I said, our graduate programs and our graduate certificates are all online. And so people hear online and they think like sitting in your bedroom in your pajamas, kind of clicking PowerPoints, sort of answer blogs and that kind of thing. That is not the experience that we have at SoPA. So let me tell you a little bit about our online learning. All of our coursework is developed by instructional designers. We have our own in-house instructional designers. And instructional designers are master's level educators, folks who have gone and gotten their master's degree in education, but they're specifically focused on instructional design. And so their expertise is in developing interactive and engaging curriculums specifically to be taught in the online space. So their job is to create really engaging, interactive curriculum so that students have a challenging experience, that they are highly engaged and interactive, and they also have the ability to create relationships with each other, which is also different. So there's small group work, and you have the ability to meet your professor. And then also once a month, you have a class just like we're doing now. So that is, you will have actual times where you will have to dial into class. So while it is online, it is still a classroom experience. It's just that you don't have to drive to, a building and get out of your car and sort of do all that. And then there will be pieces that you, in between the class times, that you will do on your own. So let me explain a little bit more about that. Our coursework tends to be, because it's taught by professors who actually work in the field where they teach, they tend to use real world scenarios for all of the all of the curriculum that you're studying. So Michael, if you're interested in marketing, communications, and digital design, you may have to actually develop a design for an actual restaurant here in New Orleans, right? Like you may actually have to do that work. The beauty of that is that you actually have a piece of work. You'll have multiple pieces of work actually by the time you get your degree. So you have a portfolio come graduation. So when it comes time to have a job, you could be like, these are the 5 or 6 different projects that I worked on in class, but they're actually real world based. So you can share that knowledge with a prospective employer. Isaac, same thing as you. So in the sports medicine world, you may have interactive simulations of working with an actual athlete. You might have an avatar that you have to work with, that sort of thing. Chloe, I'm not sure what you're interested in studying, but it's the same sort of thing. So it's a really interesting way to do online education. Next slide, I can share a little bit more. So here's 2 slides. So 2 different ways, like I said, sometimes our curriculum actually takes place in the metaverse with engaging and interactive activities. So that's the kind of thing where you may have an avatar, you might be in like a virtual space where you have to navigate. For many of our like Homeland Security students and our emergency and security students, cybersecurity students, they may actually be like a Homeland Security sort of situation in the metaverse where they have to navigate around and sort of handle risks and deal with risks. So that's the stuff that we do. It's a very different experience than, like I said, sort of flipping through PowerPoints and, just posting things to a discussion board. Another way that we offer the flexibility of our curriculum to our students is oftentimes lessons will be put up in podcasts. So instead of sitting and, watching a movie or reading a chapter out of a book, you might have a lesson one week that's a podcast. So you can actually listen to that while you're driving to work, while you're, cooking dinner. I always listen to podcasts when I drive. That's my podcast time. Lots of people listen to them when they exercise. A lot of people will put them on while they're like cleaning the house. Whenever you have your time that you listen to podcasts, it's just another way that students can get the curriculum without sort of like sitting down and, reading a handout or that sort of thing. So we try to make the curriculum as engaging and interactive and flexible as possible. So those are just 2 examples of how we're different. A little bit about our faculty. like I said, our faculty learn, or our students learn from faculty who actually work in the field. So for instance, our master's in public administration, one of our faculty members is Ashley Hand. She's the director of strategic communications for the city for Kansas City. So she works in the public sector. She's involved in public policy and communications, and she teaches some of our classes, as well as Derek Bose teaches in our emergency and security program, and he works for the Louisiana Flood Authority. For our kinesiology program, Isaac, which you're sort of interested in that world a little bit, Tyra Mitchell is our assistant director of the program, but she's the former chief of physical therapy. She has her doctorate in physical therapy for Ochsner, which is our largest health system here in Louisiana. So, so I don't know the equivalent in New York. It would be, I don't know what the equivalent is, but whatever your big hospital system is, I know New York.
Yeah, it'll be Mount Sinai. Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be Mount Sinai. So imagine the head of physical therapy from Mount Sinai being the assistant director of the program that you're, okay. Thank you for that. We only have 2 big hospital systems here in Louisiana. It's not the same as New York, or here in New Orleans. So, and Ralph Russo, you'll be happy to know, Isaac, he actually is the program director for our IT and cybersecurity program. He's a former NYPD police officer, but he started their cyber counterintelligence unit after 9/11. They didn't have one, and you know, back in the day, and so he helped set that up. And then after he left the police force, he's gone into education and private industry. So, you know, when you're talking about cybersecurity, you want to learn from somebody who's done it and who still has the connection. So that is true for all of our professors. So you will learn from people who are actually doing the work in the field. So just a little bit about what our faculty say about teaching for us, because it's always good to hear from them, although they can't join every webinar. So Amanda Fennell is a chief information officer at Relativity, and she teaches in our cybersecurity program. And she says, as a cybersecurity leader, I feel it's vital to prepare our professionals through practical experience, which is why I incorporate my day job, because they all work during the day, into my classes at night. So when our students come to the class, they're learning from people who are doing that work during the day. Tamar Gregorian is a full-time faculty member with us, but she still works in PR and digital marketing. And she says, in a society where media is so pervasive and ever-changing, I think it's vital for students to learn the problem-solving skills necessary to create strategic, innovative, cultural, and socially significant communication solutions. So, Michael, that's a little bit of the world that you're interested in delving into. Tamar would be the assistant, one of the directors of that program. So, here are the master's degrees that we offer at SoPA: cybersecurity management, emergency management, health and wellness management, homeland security, IT management, liberal arts, public administration, security management, and sports studies. So those are our actual master's degrees that we offer. We also offer certificates, which I believe are on the next slide. So these are our graduate certificates. So we offer, and I'm going to kind of go through all of these. We offer corporate wellness, cyber defense, cyber leadership, cyber technology fundamentals, which is the only graduate certificate that doesn't stack into a master's degree. So all of these, you can come and get a certificate and stop, or you can continue on towards your master's, and all of the classes from the certificate will count towards your master's, except for cyber technology fundamentals. That's like a group of prerequisite courses for non-computer professionals who want to go into cyber or IT. But back to our graduate certificates, the stack: economic development, emergency management, environmental management, resilience, health leadership, health strategy and financial management, IT planning, intelligence, K-12 education leadership, nonprofit and strategic philanthropy, security management, sports administration, sport coaching, sport medicine, sports management, sports security, and technology architecture. So all of those graduate certificates will stack into the graduate masters. All right, next slide. All right, and then the post-baccalaureate certificates are early childhood and secondary education, graphic design, homeland security, interactive design, paralegal studies, K through 12 education, and teaching English learners. And post-baccalaureate certificates are interesting because they are actually undergraduate level courses. So you also pay an undergraduate tuition rate, which is lower than the graduate rate, but you have to have a bachelor's degree as a prerequisite. So they fall somewhere between a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, but they are actually undergraduate courses. So they are a little bit cheaper than master's degrees. So for what that's worth. All right. So another thing that we offer, because we try to cater to an adult learner, is we know that many of our students come back to school after working in certain industries or sectors for years. So they come to us with some experience already. They may not have a degree, but they might have a lot of experience in a field in which they're choosing to study. So we offer what's called credit for prior learning. So if you ever have to take a class and it's a class where you actually already are an expert in that area, like you've been working in that area, or you have that expertise, you can meet with the director of the Credit for Prior Learning program and your advisor and say, look, here is the syllabus for this course. Here are the 4 learning objectives. I already know all of these things. And so I want to just demonstrate to you all, and they'll make you like write a paper and, answer some questions. And if you can demonstrate the knowledge, then you don't have to take those courses. And you can do that for up to 6 credits, which is the equivalent of 2 courses towards a master's degree. So that's a savings of money and time. So that's a way that we help adult learners kind of move more quickly towards their goal. Okay, so another way that we feel like we're a differentiator from other schools is we wrap our students in a lot of support. And we do that because we're committed to not only having our students enter Tulane, like we really want you all to come be students, but we also equally want you to graduate. So we don't want you just to come in and like flounder if you run into an issue, oh well. We want to make sure that you're successful and make it across that stage for graduation. So all of our students have 2 advisors. You have an academic advisor and a faculty advisor. Your academic advisor helps you do things like figure out how many credits you need to take, what courses you need to take, sort of in order to, to get all your credits for graduation. If you run into an academic issue, or if you have to like take a semester off, that sort of thing, that's what your academic advisor does. Then you have a faculty advisor. And that's a faculty member that you can go to. Once again, they all work in the industry. And this is someone who you can develop a relationship with. You can talk to about your career goals. They might help guide you. You might have taken a class and you feel like it's really interesting to you and you want to explore what part of the work world you can do more of that type of knowledge and apply that knowledge to, and they can help you in that way. We also have our very own career advisor that is just for SoPA students. So this advisor can help you with your resume, with your LinkedIn page, and all of our faculty, because they work in the field, they often hear about job openings at their jobs in other areas of the work world, and they will send to our career advisor job openings that our career advisor will then push out to our student body so that we hear about jobs before a lot of times they even hit like Indeed or any of the job boards. So our students have a pretty good bite at the apple when it comes time to applying for jobs. All right, so a little bit about our affordability. So all of our classes are 3 credit hours, And each one of our courses is $1,158 per credit hour. So a little bit over $3,300 per course. That is for our graduate courses. If you take a post-baccalaureate or if you're interested in undergraduate courses, it's about half of that. So many of our students will also apply for federal grants and loans. You will have to fill out the FAFSA form, which is the federal form for financial aid. And I always tell people, go ahead and fill that out early. It can take a little while to fill out that form. They ask a lot of questions and they need, like, you know, your tax return and that kind of stuff. We also have other ways that we help students afford their education. We're a yellow ribbon school if anybody is a veteran. And we also offer 20% discounts for active duty military or veterans, active and retired public safety personnel. So firefighters, policemen, first responders, those sorts of folks. Anybody who has received a degree from a minority serving institution like an HBCU, or a Hispanic serving institution, we offer a 20% scholarship. And if anyone is a Phi Theta Kappa member, we also offer a discount. And then once again, we also offer the credit for prior learnings. So that's a way that you can also save a little over $6,000 if you can you know, take 2 classes and show that you have the knowledge, and then you don't have to take those classes. Okay, let me say one more thing about tuition. We cap our fees. So we do not, you know, there's a lot of schools that talk about their tuition, but then when you start adding on all their fees every semester, it can almost double tuition. That is not us. We cap our tuition at like $140 at the most or something each semester. So you basically pay all tuition, and then there's this nominal little fee on top of it. So that is not the case with us. A little bit about our application process. We have an online application. Our application lives on our website, sopa.tulane.edu. That address is at the bottom of this page. Just go to our website and you'll see a button at the top that says apply. Just go ahead and click that, and that opens you up into our application portal. We do have a $50 application fee, but we waive it for webinar participants. So you should automatically have that waived when you go to submit your application. It should not ask you to pay a fee. If you have already applied and paid that fee, email me and I can refund the fee to you. We're also going to need a picture of a current ID. So for most people, they just take a picture on their phone of their driver's license and upload that. You can use a passport too. We'll need transcripts from any school from which you have received credits, graduate or undergraduate. We do not require the GRE. So most people are very interested in that. We do not require any sort of standardized testing. For graduate programs, certificates, and full masters, there will most likely be a written portion that you'll have to answer. And sometimes you're also asked for a resume, to include a resume. Take the written portion seriously. They serve 2 purposes. The faculty like to see the content of what you're answering, so they want to actually read the answers, but they're also looking for what kind of writer you are. So be sure to like proofread, take your time, don't turn in a sloppy copy, be sort of extensive. You know, some students will turn in 3 or 4 sentences. That's not really a full statement. They give you a word count, so I would tell you to use that as a guide. And just make sure that you've read it over, you've proofread, your spelling is right, all your punctuation, those sorts of things. And some important deadlines for you to know. We have 3 starts each year. So we have the traditional fall start. We have the spring start, which is in January. That's our next term that we are accepting applications for. And we have our summer start. We are, you know, always reading applications. So as soon as you get your application in and it's full and complete, we will read it and offer an admissions decision. Our next deadline for the application is January 1. That's for the spring term. May 1 is the deadline for the summer term, and August 1 is the deadline for the fall term. However, If you register for classes, meaning you've applied, been accepted, and have registered for your classes by these early enrollment scholarship dates, we offer as an incentive just to get students kind of in and settled, a $500 scholarship towards your first semester of study. So if you're applying to start in spring, you need to register for classes by December 1, so it's coming right around the corner. If you're interested in starting in the summer, you would need to register by April 25th, and there's plenty of time for that. And of course, if you want the traditional fall start, you'll need to apply, be accepted, and register for classes by June 1. So that is the bulk of what we're going to talk about. My contact information is on the screen. Email me if you have questions, askgold@tulane.edu. I know there's a phone number, but I'm always in front of my computer. I am not always in front of my phone. So I always tell people to email me. But I'm happy if you all want to drop questions in the chat or take yourself off of mute. I can answer any questions that you might have. Or if you don't have any questions, or would prefer just to email me, I'm happy to handle that too. So anything that I can answer for you all. Chloe, most of the times you would need to call into class schedule with the assumption that we will be working. Yes, they are, Chloe. So we assume that our students are either working or taking care of family members. There are some daytime classes for sure, but most of them are afternoon and evening classes, without a doubt. And for graduate programs, you only have to call into a scheduled class once a month for the most part. So most of the rest of the work is like interactive simulations or listening to podcasts, writing papers, small group work, discussion boards, that sort of stuff. So it's very much scheduled towards a working adult's lifestyle. Anything else? Michael, you just took yourself off of mute. What can I answer for you?
I just wanted to ask a little bit more about the online aspect of it. So it's the program I'm going into, the digital media marketing communications, that's completely online. There's no time when you would meet with everybody in person.
Well, what's funny is that we also have, what I think we should do? We should actually probably speak offline, because
Okay.
we also have undergraduate digital media and marketing that might be more what you're looking for. We have two. Have you looked at our undergraduate programs too, even though I'm assuming that you have an undergraduate degree already?
No, it's interesting, because the reason why I chose this program was because of the flexibility. It kind of branches out into these multiple minors basically. And I was like, tons of flexibility here, because I just decided to go back to school during COVID, and this was kind of caught my.
So, and the reason I ask is because specifically our digital media marketing and communications certificate is an undergraduate certificate. It is also, flexible for sure, but it is a little bit different than our grad. So what I'm going to do afterwards, Michael, if you don't mind, is I'm going to send you an email with a link to some information that I think would be interesting for you to read. And then I'm also going to a copy on the director of our program, and she can sort of open up a dialogue with you about the different sort of options in their program that might be best for you. Would you appreciate that?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll do that right after this. I'm happy to do it.
Sure.
Okay, great. All right, Isaac, do you have anything for us?
No, because I was looking into the actually I actually found the answer to my question.
Okay, good.
I just now, so I
Okay,
think
well, look, no pressure. What you all need to know is you can reach out to me anytime, sgold@tulane.edu. And so if you sort of, have more questions, or if you want me to connect you with anybody, please reach out. We love, part of what we do at SoPA is we're not a huge school. And so we like to know our students, and we sort of philosophically feel like the admissions process is the beginning of building that relationship. So for us, it's fun to get to know you all. So don't be shy. Tomorrow, we're going to send a follow-up email, just thanking you for coming to this webinar, and my contact information will be in that also. So even if you don't want to write it down right now, feel free to reach out. So if you all don't have any more questions, that is okay. We usually take about 30 minutes, so this is right on time for our webinars, but we thank you all for being with us tonight. And if you need anything, please reach out. But otherwise, we certainly hope that we'll see your application soon and be welcoming you to Tulane as a student soon. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to y'all later. Bye.